Hello, everyone. It's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer. Welcome to Wasteland Talks, my weekly talk show where I talk about whatever the hell I want. And we are going to be doing a mid-season check-in for the NFL, and my buddy Rod is back to talk some football. Now, Rod, are you ready for some football?
I'm always ready for some football. Shane, fins up, baby! Miami Dolphins, 6-3 Super Bowl champs. Just wanted to say that before we start.
There we go. Giants, most overachieving team in the NFL. So, Rod, before we get started, where could people find you and where would you like to shamelessly plug?
Oh man, you can find me on my personal film. Jesus Christ, my personal film page at the Cinema Gallery. That's a Cinema Gallery with 3 L's in gallery. And you can find me and my good buddy Ben on the Infinity Film Podcast, which Shane has been
Yep.
on a lot. And we can't wait to have you on again, Shane. Hopefully, we can have you on again soon. At the Infinity Film Podcast, you can find us on all your various podcast listening platforms: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple. Say Apple TV Plus, Apple Podcasts,
I
etc.
didn't know you made it that big. Congratulations.
Yeah, we had to work a deal out, but
They air every Friday before Friday night baseball. There you go.
So that's where you can find me.
And soon they'll be opening up Thursday night football on Amazon Prime too. Which
God,
honestly, their show will be more entertaining than 90% of the games that have happened this season on Thursday night football.
You know what they just announced like 2 weeks ago they're adding a game next year on Black Friday on Amazon, so it's gonna be.
Did Amazon need any more money on that day?
No, they don't. They really did, Shane.
Really?
And the funny thing is though, my dad was saying like, okay, yeah, we can complain about it, but all of our butts are gonna be on our couches watching that game. It doesn't matter who's playing. If it's the Jets and the Seahawks, we're all gonna be sitting down watching that game. So
Yep. We'll be watching. And I've already been doing some early Black Friday shopping from
I'm a
Best
digital
Buy.
collector, Shane, so I don't need Black Friday shop because it's all like $14.99 and $20.
Yeah, I basically got all the recent MCU stuff on 4K for like 13 to $15. I was very happy about that. But
I do want to say before we start talking, I don't know if you picked it up yet, but maybe the best 4K transfer. Yeah, I'm not ready to say it's the best, but Shane, the Top Gun Maverick 4K transfer is phenomenal. One of the best. I mean, the movie's fantastic, of course, but that 4K transfer, it's wonderful.
hey, I'll be excited to get it once it's not in theaters anymore, right?
I think it's actually still playing like one or two theaters here in Georgia.
I'm sure it is. Um, Still going, still making that Tom Cruise money. But we're here to talk about some football. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of these divisions, starting with the one that matters most to Rod here, which is the AFC East, which as of right now, Bills 6-2, Jets
Boo.
6-3, Dolphins 6-3, and Patriots 5-4. They are all above 500.
Best division in football this year.
The NFC East could almost have that if it wasn't for the Commanders. Thanks, Carson Wentz.
Hey, look, I was telling somebody the other day, they are really a messy organization, and they are better off with Taylor Heineke. They really are.
Well, did you hear who might try to buy them?
I heard Matthew McConaughey was trying to buy them.
Jeffrey Bezos. Yep, the Amazon-owned Washington Commanders.
They might as well just rename it Amazon Field at this point. I mean, Prime Field, Amazon Field. They're going
to. I would take Prime Field. I think that would be an interesting. And then all the Commanders games will air on Amazon. There you go.
Oh, but yes, the AFC East.
Yes.
There's a lot to talk about here, Shane, with the AFC East. I mean, if you just want to go by team real quick, I think with the Bills, obviously, I think we all kind of assumed they would kind of run the division, and Maybe I didn't pick them to win the division or the conference or anything. I still think it's the Chiefs' conference to lose. They've had the experience and everything. Certainly, the Bills have kept them tested, and if they, of course, they won this year. They won this year's game. I got to give Josh Allen credit. He won that game for them. But
Mhm.
that's my problem with the Bills is they are too Josh Allen centric, and now they're paying the price right now because he's hurt. Got that UCL injury,
Yep.
and they're saying he's probably going to play tomorrow. Um, I don't know when this video's coming out, Shane, but they're so I'll just say before the Vikings game, a game that I'll be going
Big
back and forth with.
game.
Yeah, big game. I'll be going back and forth between that and of course, my Dolphins game. But that's what's going to hurt them in the playoffs, Shane. Is the over reliance on Josh Allen to win them games, and it's a formula it's going to hurt them. It's going to cost them, I think.
Yep. They couldn't put out the Jets. They should be 7-1 right now.
Yeah, they
But
want to. The only team that really beat them is the Miami Dolphins. Just to let you guys know, we were the first team to do it this year. And Tua did it. My guy Tua.
well, let's so yes, the Bills are definitely too Josh Allen centric, but let's talk about them Dolphins.
Well, Shane, when I was a kid. Oh no, about this season. Okay, so yeah, this season I am this surprised it's all gelling this well. Tyreek Hill is on pace for 2,000 yards, which is in receiving yards, which is insane, Shane, to me. My concern or my worry was Tua, right? Because I loved Tua in college. I love watching him at Alabama. My concern for him was his size and his injury history, and of course, he was the topic of discussion weeks 3 through 5 and 6 after that nasty concussion he took. Um, sorry, back injury. Back injury. It was a back injury, Shane. Okay, that's what the Dolphins said it was. It was a back injury. We all knew.
100% did not turn out to be did not turn out to be a concussion at all.
No, no, not at all. But I am pleasantly surprised by how well they're playing offensively. They are really gelling good Lord, Tua is has shut me up. This is the Tua I wanted to see coming out of college, and now he has the receivers. I mean, Shane, I don't think there's a better wide receiver duo in the league than Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle this season. I mean, when you have two speedsters like that, that's just stupid. An
Mhm.
embarrassment of riches. And we still have Jalen Waddle on that rookie contract. So we're gonna have this duo, for a long time. And Tua and McDaniel that is just a match made in heaven for them. And so I'm very happy with what we're seeing on the offense. It is the defense that has regressed tremendously. They have taken a major step back from years prior. And it just goes to show you who was really calling the shots these past couple of seasons on defense. It wasn't Josh Boyer, who was our defensive coordinator. It was Brian Flores. And now Brian Flores is gone. He is now I believe he's the linebackers coach for Pittsburgh. I was actually at that game, Shane, the Tua's first game back after the injury. A lot of fun. Shane, that was actually my first Dolphins game in Miami. I've been to Dolphins games before, but those are all
Mhm.
been road games. This is my first time being at Hard Rock Stadium, and a lot of fun, great experience. And Tua was back, and just the energy around Miami and everything was just great having Tua back. And they had people on the show, and it was a close game. It's fun being prime time and everything, but the defense has worried me. Now there have been some injuries. Our number 2 corner is out. He still hasn't played. Byron Jones this season. He still hasn't played yet. Um, the pass defense has worried me. The run defense has given me some hope that we can be a functional defense.
Mhm.
At this point, Shane, I just want us to be that bend, don't break defense. I don't care. At this point, Shane, we're at that point of the season. It's not going to improve all that much. I'm glad we got Bradley Chubb. That was a steal for us. I love that trade. Um, he's not going to make the defense that much better, but we will add some more pressures because that's something we're lacking in is the
Mhm.
pressures, and we're a very blitz happy team where we're not getting to the quarterback enough. So I'm glad we have Chubb in there to do that, and we have this rookie cornerback also, Cater who's really shown out and kind of taking Byron Jones' place, and he's been a great for us. At this point, as long as Tua stays healthy, we can make a run for the super. We can make a run for the AFC Championship game. Now, I think for us to make that run, though, we need to win the division. I don't know. I do not want to go in divisional round to Kansas City or to Buffalo in the divisional playoff game, where it's not the weather that concerns me, it's the experience that concerns me more. Everyone, all these media guys talk about the weather and will this offense work in the cold? I don't care. Mike McDaniels will adjust. It's the experience. His team is young, right? Not,
Mhm.
but you have someone like Tyreek Hill who does have that experience, who's been to a Super Bowl. So I'm sorry for taking up too much time. I just, my Dolphins, there's a lot to love about my Dolphins,
I
but the defense
understand. You know
is
what?
concerning.
Tua already has almost more touchdowns than he's ever had in a season,
Yep.
and he's only played 7 games.
Yep.
So like things are clicking. They're really clicking. And I'm looking over now on the Jets, who are tied with the Dolphins as of right now. And how the hell is that happening?
Defense. It's the opposite of the Dolphins. Their offense is terrible, but that defense is legit, Shane. They have a bunch of, especially on the defensive line. And Sauce Gardner is a stud. That corner, he has shut down Diggs, Tyreek Hill. He is just locking kids down. Hold on, that came out wrong. Locking receivers down. And I am, I am shocked the Jets are playing this well on defense.
Hey, there's something in the air on defense in New Jersey, between the Jets and the Giants because like Giants are Giants are winning against their defense too.
And
And you know
Saquon.
what?
And
You
Saquon.
and well, here's the thing: defense. If they could keep you in the game, one score, and the Giants are just, oh, it's the fourth quarter, touchdown, we win. So that's basically this whole entire season.
Yep.
And then you have the Patriots who are 5-4 too. Belichick's doing something over there
So
in New England.
we all, I have a really good friend I met in college, who was a massive, massive Patriots fan, and he was telling me like his concern was, this whole post Tom Brady world, and Cam couldn't get it done and everything like that. But he was encouraged by Mac Jones's rookie season, and we were just on the phone the other day talking about how he would rather have Bailey Zappi in there. And when that happens, that means you don't have a quarterback. Now Bailey Zappi, he did well, Shane. He did admirably well. He's
Mhm.
not he's not he's not the future for that franchise though. And neither is Mac Jones. Mac Jones is terrible. He is
Well, and
awful.
Cam Newton wasn't either. So like I feel like they need to.
It could have worked if they would have adjusted their offense to what he can do, to what Cam does best, but they didn't.
That was a culture shock because Belichick had Tom Brady for how many years, and they're just like, well, we'll just get another big name person. Cam Newton's not Tom Brady. They do not play the same game of football when it comes
Exactly.
to quarterback. And if you're not going to do that, then what's going to happen? What are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
So, but so that AFC East is stacked. Going to the North, tale
Oh
of two
boy.
tale of two teams. Because Steelers suck at
Mm-hmm.
2-6.
Mm-hmm.
This first official year without Roethlisberger, it's not looking so hot. Um,
Before you move on, I just want to say, uh, you know, we all know how toxic Twitter is, Shane, but the Steelers fans who are saying fire Mike Tomlin, it's not Mike Tomlin's fault. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. This will probably be his first. That is impressive, Shane.
that
That he
is
is this
impressive.
will be his first losing season, probably. You just gotta give it time. It's tough to replace a legend like Ben Roethlisberger and just automatically have the same success. Now,
Well,
Roethlisberger should have retired probably 2 years ago so they could start the rebuilding process so they can get past this phase. But look, we are where we are now. It is what it is. My disappointment with the Steelers, Shane, is actually Najee Harris, who has done basically nothing for them this season. He was supposed to be the bell cow of that offense, and he has been non-existent.
it's it's the kind of thing where it's just like, look, we had the big three for what almost 20 years. It's like what happened to the Colts, what happened to the Patriots, and what has happened to the Steelers post. You
Well,
need to rebuild.
the Colts thing, that's actually not even Peyton Man. That's not even a Peyton. That's a more of an Andrew Luck screwed over that franchise big time when he retired. Now, it was not all Andrew's fault. I don't blame him for retiring because they did nothing to protect him at all. That kid was getting beaten up every single week he was
Mm-hmm.
playing football. So I understand it, but he set that franchise back to the point now where they fired their coach, which I think was a mistake.
Jeff Saturday. We'll obviously get to that when we get to the South,
Yeah, we'll say that. We'll say that for
which is
later.
not looking so great. But even like the Broncos, who had Peyton Manning for those couple of years, and like they haven't really been able to figure something out either. It's hard to fill the hole of a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you're unless you're Green Bay, who no matter how much Aaron Rodgers wanted to bitch about sitting behind like Brett Favre, and Brett Favre was pissed off having Aaron Rodgers there. It's just like it worked out for them. So, at this point, Steelers are dead in the water.
Yep.
So Browns not looking so hot at three and
They will
five.
be improved when Watson comes back. But, they're going to be Stefanski's going to get another year to coach that team. They are really going to be a tale. That next year is going to be a big year for them, Shane, because if that's going to really tell if this Deshaun Watson thing or if this Kevin Stefanski thing is really going to work out.
Yeah.
Because he took Baker Mayfield to the playoffs and they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, this is not a deal breaker for the Browns this season. We probably all assumed once Watson got that suspension, it was probably going to be a lost season this year.
Hmm.
Um,
Is how many more games is he out? Is he out the
so he's coming back. I think the first weekend of September or whatever week 12 or 13 is
Hmm.
when, and his first game back is against none other than the Houston Texans in
There you
Houston.
go. Well, what's interesting is they're not out of it. Like the Ravens are 6-3 and keep blowing very, very, very large leads in games.
Oh, you're talking about that Tua Tagovailoa comeback, a comeback of the century, down 35-14, and Tua bottom back to win 42-38. That comeback you're talking about, Shane? Tua!
It's the thing is like they have Lamar Jackson. It's the Ravens. As long as I've watched football, and my first ever Giants Super Bowl had to watch them absolutely demolish the Giants. It's just like they're a winning team, and they've been able to stay a winning team. It's just they need to learn how to put opponents out this
They
season. Way too interesting.
they upgraded their defense, so they have Roquan Smith now. Um, my concern for them is that offense. Who is he throwing to? Because his best receiver is out for the year now. His other receiver is gone. He's in Arizona and he's out for the year. So I can't wait to talk about the NFC West. Good Lord, what a trash division that is. But
Trash.
yes, I was waiting for it. I was like, when's he gonna say it? But yeah, as far as the Ravens go, they're probably gonna end up winning the division. Shane, they were my pick to win the division.
Yeah,
Uh, I I think they're gonna be one and done come playoff time though.
it's tough because like you can't do that crap in the playoffs. If
No.
you're going to be blowing three possession leads, like you can't be doing that when the game when the lights are on. It's playoff time, and you have the Bengals who are 5-4 right now, and that's the thing. Ravens aren't running away with it. Bengals are right there. Anything could happen in the second half of the season.
So if I'm not mistaken, let me check something real quick. Week 18, the last week of the season, Shane. This will probably be because they always flex the last game. They always wait till the last to flex the last game. You have Ravens at Bengals week 18. That will probably get flexed to Sunday Night Football and that'll probably be the who either wins the division and goes wild card, or it could be a win and go home.
Well, you know what other matchup we're getting the last weekend of the season? That could be a first place matchup.
Oh,
Eagles Giants.
is it? Oh, that's right. It is Eagles Giants. Will we see another Deshaun Jackson punt return for a touchdown type scenario?
Just took me back to Nam. Just like I will never forget that day.
Oh boy.
I'll
So
never
yeah,
forget.
I
They
think
haven't even played each other yet this season. They don't play each other until week 12 or
so.
something like that.
I'm gonna
So
hold my thoughts because I have a lot of thoughts about the Eagles, that whole division. But just wrapping up the AFC North, because I do think I'm pretty sure Shane, both the Dolphins and the Giants. I think three teams from the AFC East are going to the playoffs, whether that's Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. I think
we're gonna find
somebody.
out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. And I
I
thought that
I I
go
think
ahead.
the Dolphins have more of a staying power than the Jets. So I guess it could be a toss up between the Jets and the Patriots.
That's kind of where that's where I was heading. Like I think the Bills and the Dolphins are locks. I think
Mhm.
the Jets and the Patriots are going to battle it out for that last spot. I think, and I think the Chargers might get that other spot. I still have faith in Justin Herbert.
Mhm.
I'm disappointed in this team. I've always kind of thought they were overhyped. Shane. I just thought they were going to be better than what they are. Now, part of it too is injuries, but we'll get to that when we talk about that division.
Well, now we're heading down south. Well,
I don't want
Texans
to.
suck. And the Giants are going to beat them this weekend. Jaguars also suck. Um,
Not in London. They are great in London. I'll tell you what, Shane.
there
They are just
you
a
go.
different team over there.
And then the Colts are a hot mess. So Titans by default.
It really is Titans by default, and the Titans aren't even that good, Shane. They like the Bills are too Josh Allen centric. The Titans are too reliant on Derrick Henry.
Yep.
And I was telling one of my business partners this the other day, Shane. Derrick Henry is going to be done in the league by the time he's 30 years old because they're going to run him into the ground in terms of just how much he's used.
He he's gonna blow out both his knees and his back from carrying this franchise on his back.
Have you seen the renovations for their new stadium? It looks like a oh Shane. I don't know. You know what Top Golf is, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a very fancy Top Golf.
Huh. Does it have a giant statue of Derrick Henry?
No, but I
Because
mean,
it better.
I'm sure they better. Look, I agree with you. They better. They know that man's a
Yeah,
lot.
nobody's winning that division besides the Titans. Good for the Titans. We'll see
I
how they
will
do in the
say though,
playoffs when they have to play somebody.
I will say this though, Shane. I was encouraged early on by the Jags and Trevor Lawrence progress. And then they were like, you know what? Wait, we are Jacksonville. We're not supposed to be winning anything. Let's just lose like 6 games in a row and we won't win again until we go to London. And then they lost in London. So I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
They lost, yeah. But they recently just beat who did they beat last week? Shane, why am I
Yeah, they won a big game last
yeah,
week
they
that
beat the
they should
Raiders.
not have.
Yeah, they beat the Raiders. That's right,
Oh,
because talk about a
we're
team
gonna get
blowing
to that in
leads.
a
The
second.
Raiders just whoo boy. I can't wait till we talk about them. So yeah, Titans by default, Shane. And that's
Well, it's
unfortunate.
AFC West time, and yeah, Raiders. How long's Carr going to be their quarterback?
Shane, I want to say this, Shane. I have never been more disappointed in a division than I have with this division right this year. This was supposed to be the year I thought all three teams had a possibility. All four of these teams can make the playoffs. Seriously, I thought
Well, they have consistently across the board the most talented quarterbacks in all the NFL.
exactly. Carr, Herbert, Wilson.
Wilson.
Oh, and that little guy in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
number 15, who people keep saying, I want to go off on a tangent here. I want the conversation to end about who was the best quarterback in the NFL. It's not Josh Allen. Stop this nonsense. It is Patrick freaking Mahomes. Number 15 for KC. Because when it matters the most, Shane, you know who's best at Allen in the playoffs? Not Ryan Tannehill. No, Patrick freaking Mahomes.
Hey, if it were last season, I'd still be saying Tom Brady, not this season.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till we talk about those Buccaneers. But yeah, to the AFC West.
What the hell's happening?
Well, the Raiders should have never hired Josh McDaniels. That has become evidently clear. So I can't wait till he goes back to New England next year. I
Because they're
want I
doing
want to ask
sacks.
Devontae Adams how much he misses Aaron Rodgers right now. How much do you miss your boy Aaron right now? Um, Derek Carr's done. I'm tired of watching him play. They got to move on from him. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, they need to get a different quarterback.
Broncos country. Let's ride. Hey, I am not fully putting the blame on Russell Wilson for this. People need to stop that. Nathaniel Hackett should have never been their coach. Never. Because remember where he came from, Shane. Came from Green Bay. He was the OC for Aaron Rodgers back-to-back MVP seasons. And now you're the head coach of the Denver Broncos. I bet you missed your old gig now, don't you, Nathaniel? I'm just saying. So that's my problem with the Broncos. And then them trading Bradley Chubb was like, okay, we're obviously they weren't going to be able to pay him because of Russell's contract and everything, but it's still unfortunate for Broncos country, not for me. It's just disappointing to see a Russell Wilson-led team be this disappointing. It's to be this bad.
Broncos
Chargers have been
John Elway. You need to get your stuff together.
Sweet Jesus, don't get me started on John Elway. Chargers have just been ravished by injuries and some underwhelming performances from Justin Herbert. He's been underwhelming to say the least. But hey, look, they've got a big chain. The Sunday Night Football game this week is huge. It's Niners Chargers. I can't wait to watch that game. It's going to be great. But
Cowherd's all about that Johnny Garoppolo making the Super Bowl.
I don't give a crap about Colin Cowherd. That man gets on my nerves. He was like, man doesn't know quarterbacks. He keeps comparing Lamar Jackson to a running back. He was wrong about that. He still thinks Tua can't get it done. He's like, oh, he can't throw the deep ball, even though Tua leads the league in air yards and stuff on throws. And Tua can't do this. And Tua, I can't. I hate Colin Cowherd. But let me not go on a tangent here. Shane, what did I tell you when we did our preview show? I think I said this. If I didn't, what was I smoking? Patrick Mahomes will run this division until further notice. It's his division, and he's got nobody to throw to besides Travis Kelce. It's just him and a bunch of dudes, and he's still leading the league in passing yards. I think he's tied for passing touchdowns with Josh Allen. I think Allen might still lead that category. Mahomes is the MVP candidate this year. Look what he's doing without Tyreek Hill. People will say he's going to take a step back, and Mahomes is still proving he's the best of the best.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up. I have NFL.com up, so I've been pulling up some stats. Let's look at
NFL.com, not a sponsor.
Do they want to be? Because as of right now, 21 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, no, so he's passed Allen. I think he leads the league now. I think Allen has 19.
Yeah, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So, and then 1 rushing touchdown. So, it's well, I know Josh Allen's been running around, scoring some touchdowns.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Chiefs world there. Chiefs world right now.
Yep.
So, and they're going to keep going. They making the Super Bowl again?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
Not playing Tom Brady again this year. Well, quick side note. The fact of the matter is, Tom Brady would be hosting Daniel Jones right now if the playoffs started today.
Oh my God.
A 4-5 Buccaneers hosting a 6-2 New York Giants.
Oh my Lord. How the tables have turned.
Yep.
You know what the
Crazy.
funny thing is, Shane? That would actually be a really good game.
Oh,
Even if the Bucks are 4-5, it's just the Brady factor of it all. You know, when he's in the
well, that's the
playoffs.
thing. If they can make the playoffs, which we'll get there because my God, what a trash heap of a division.
That whole
Um,
conference is just really top heavy. It
well
really is.
that well, you know what, Rod? Because outside the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Vikings, and the Seahawks, there's not a single winning team in the NFC. And three of them are in the same division. Good luck
Like,
getting any wild card spots.
that's real. I mean,
Like
here's
the
my like
49ers are 4-4 and have the seventh spot.
they're getting ready to make a push here, Shane. I think they're going to be a lot more dangerous than people think, especially with the McCaffrey trade now. People need to watch out for these San Francisco 49ers. They are
Oh,
for real.
well, you know what? I wouldn't mess with the 49ers at this point.
Nope.
Uh, but like, let's get started in the East. The 8-0 Eagles, the 6-2 Cowboys and Giants, and then, the Commanders.
Trash.
The trash. The Washington Bezos. It's what's going to be soon.
Brian
Uh,
Field.
um, is anybody surprised that Carson Wentz isn't leading this team to a winning record? They are floating around 500, which honestly is better than I thought they would.
Here's the thing, Shane, right? So we all assume that this is all going to really come down to that last wild card spot, right? Because the Eagles are going to win the division, probably get
Yeah.
the 1 seed, and the Cowboys and the Giants are going to take the first two wild card spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see this as a tale of it's between San Francisco, surprisingly Atlanta,
Yep.
and
Washington.
Washington for that last playoff spot. Which I
I
mean,
I agree with you though. I think they're gonna run away with that wild
yeah.
card spot. Because like I don't think the Falcons or Washington are gonna be getting it.
Well, look, the Falcons just unexplicably lost to the Panthers on Thursday Night Football. I don't. Good Lord, I'm glad I didn't
When
watch
I
that.
went on the app, our fantasy app, and I saw that they lost to the Panthers, I'm like, what?
Shane, I'm glad I went to go see Black. I'm glad I saw Black Panther, so I don't have to watch that travesty. Sweet Jesus, my God. I
They
don't want
need
to talk about the Falcons.
they need to pick better games Thursday night football. Like you need to put like actual good matchups on for people to want to watch it.
So I'm actually why you talk about the NFC? I'm gonna look up the rest of Thursday Night Football schedule while you do that.
Yeah. But so Giants, who have more wins than I thought they would have the whole entire season. And
Yep.
then plus some. Their defense is their defense is doing something special. They know how to play in the fourth quarter. They shut down some big name quarterbacks this season in the fourth quarter, and like they made Rodgers look like an ass in that London game. Like he
He
was
kept
throwing
batting down his
balls,
passes. I was just like, oh my goodness.
he was throwing balls into the defensive line's faces.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, they had him flustered, and you know what? I don't think Daniel Jones is a great quarterback, but for short bursts, he gets stuff done. And then you have Saquon Barkley, who's finally looking back to normal this season. So,
Shane, I'm gonna cut you real quick. So I got the rest of the Thursday night schedule.
okay.
Actually, for the most part, the games do get better, but 3 days before Christmas, December 22nd, Jaguars at Jets. Sweet. Gee, good Lord, Shane. I just can't.
Well, at this rate, at least the Jets are a winning team. But going into the season, that looking at that was like, why would you put that
I
on?
know. I just want to be in that room. You know what would be a great way to start off the holidays? Jaguars at Jets. That'll get the family together. I just what?
So, my biggest concern about the Giants, though, as of right now, is that They lost to the Cowboys and Seahawks, and they haven't played the Eagles yet. They have another game against the Cowboys, and realistically, they could lose all three of those games. And I would probably think they're gonna lose all three of those games. It's
I don't think
it.
so, Shane.
Hmm.
Now, I'm looking at their schedule right now. Now, what helps them is the rest of their schedule is pretty manageable, right? Houston, Detroit, Dallas, Washington, Philly, Washington, Minnesota, Indy, and Philly. I mean,
I'm
Houston,
worried about that Vikings game. Wait a minute. When is the game?
which one?
The Vikings game. Is this Sunday night football or Monday
It's
night football?
Christmas Eve in Minnesota.
Is Kirk Cousins gonna shit the bed?
Well, it's not prime time. It's 1 o'clock p.m. kickoff, so probably
Uh,
not. Yeah.
but like I'm just afraid that when the Giants play some better teams, they're gonna show that like they're not really that great of a team.
Well, if they
Uh,
beat Baltimore, Shane, and that's a very impressive win.
so I'm hesitant, but at this rate, with the dumpster that is the NFC, Giants are making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're still
So
making the playoffs. What seed they are, that'll be TBD. But
yep.
like the sneaky game though, Shane is, and I'm telling you this right now because it's right before Thanksgiving. When you have that, I mean, that's gonna be the game of the night, Thanksgiving Day. Giants at the Cowboys. That's gonna be a great game.
Revenge.
November 20th, Shane. Now it's a home game, so it's not that much of a trap game. But Detroit's feisty, and that's right before the Cowboys game. That could
Mhm.
be a trap game. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I no look, the Giants should win, and they probably will.
My birthday's on the 19th, so Giants give me a win. Um it's a really impressive season for them, and I cannot believe they're doing it. And then you do have the Cowboys who are 6-2, who I really do think are much more of a 6-2 team
Yes.
than the Giants are. And they did that with some backup there with Dak out.
Yeah, well, Cooper Rush did admirably. He
Yep.
almost came back and beat Philly. The
Yep.
Dallas defense let him down when Philly drove down the field and got that drive to kind of put the game on ice.
Yep.
But I have been impressed with what I've seen from the Cowboys. And now they got a big game tomorrow against Green Bay, a team that Aaron Rodgers has owned in his career. But Shane, I'm looking at the Cowboys schedule too. I mean, there's only probably one or two more of these games I can see them actually legit losing. They're going to be a 12, 13 win team. I think these Cowboys are.
There you go. And then you got the Eagles, who are 8-0.
So I know you have friends who are Philly fans and are Philadelphia sports fans. So
I have family. All my
exactly.
family are Philly sports fans.
So if they're watching this right now, please don't tell them where I live. Actually, I think I already revealed that I live in Georgia. So shit, whatever. Look,
Well,
anyway,
Georgia's a big state. They'll have to try to find you.
they'll find me. But I will say this about the Eagles. They have yet to be tested.
That's not wrong.
Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because they just keep blowing people out, especially in the second quarter. They love the second quarter for some reason. They always score like 20, 24 points every time they play every game in the second quarter. No, they beat the Vikings team. We're gonna talk about the Vikings later.
Mhm.
That's probably still the best win, Shane, is that Vikings game, that Vikings win. But I will say this: that Dallas game, even though it was still Cooper Rush, they showed me resilience in the sense that Dallas was threatening and Philly put them away.
Yep.
So they've been testing on that front. But I am looking at this game here, Shane. They have this stretch of from the November 27th, really for the rest of the year, of Green Bay, home game against Green Bay, which they should win, but it's still Aaron Rodgers, of course.
Yep.
Tennessee, Derrick Henry. They can just play keep away and keep Jalen Hurts on the sidelines, just keep running Derrick Henry. At the Giants, at Chicago, which is now a much more interesting game. Chicago is that team this year, Shane, no one wants to play. They do not want to play that team. And then
Mhm.
Dallas, and then rematch for Dallas on Christmas Eve.
And the Eagles still have to play 2 games against the Giants
Exactly.
because they haven't
So
even played yet this season. So
I'm curious how they are down the stretch. Now they should win on Monday Night Football this week against Washington. They should.
I'm my other fantasy league that I'm with that I have with Sif Pop. I have a bunch of Eagles players, so I'm counting on them beating the crap out of Washington on Monday.
It's just that look, Taylor Heineke is like a top 10, top 15 quarterback, but he just has something, Shane, that just you just believe in him, right? You just want to root for the guy.
Yep. But NFC East is a very interesting division. And then we shift to the North. Well, the Vikings are 7-1.
Yep, next.
I all I have to say is Aaron Rodgers is showing how much of an asshole he is. Because if he keeps going Pat McAfee show, talking shit on his own team, like, what the hell are you doing?
So
Why'd you even come back?
I am an Aaron Rodgers apologist. I've always been a massive fan of Aaron Rodgers. Shane, I'm not afraid to admit that. I will always defend him. Not this season though. I can't defend him. I will defend him on in the sense that he has literally no help receiving wise,
None.
and the Packers front office needs to stop this philosophy of we will just draft and develop our players. It's okay to go out in free agency once in a while and spend some money on some receivers. It's okay to do that, but they won't do that. They like to bring their in-house talent. That's fine. That's their decision, but I mean, it'd be nice if Aaron Rodgers would have a Tyreek Hill, maybe someone like that.
Somebody who can catch the ball. Are you going to
Exactly.
get Odell?
No, absolutely not. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up in Dallas, Shane, uh,
Oh,
which is a scary thought, but I'm pretty sure that's where he's going.
ooh.
And
Don't give me any more reasons to not like him.
and then the Vikings, Shane, I have to be careful because I have a client who plays for the Vikings and he's actually a close family friend of ours. So I have to be very careful with my words here, Shane. But they are better than what I thought they were going to be. But none of this matters if Kirk Cousins can't win a big game.
Well, that's the thing, because Kirk Cousins could put up numbers. Like
Yeah,
nobody was arguing that, and that they could have a winning season.
right.
It's just come playoff time because as of right now, only one team gets a bye now, right?
Correct. Because they
So
expand the playoff to 7 teams. So only one team gets a bye.
they would have to play the 49ers.
They would lose that game.
And because here's the thing. A 500 49ers team going into the playoffs with Johnny Garoppolo, that's still dangerous. Slightly below 500 Buccaneers making the playoffs, it's still Tom Brady. So it's like, and Tom Brady could win big games. You like that game, who the hell did they play where he just like, oh, wait a minute, we have 9 seconds left. I have to win this game. Win the game. That's just it's scary. Like you don't want to bet against certain players in the playoffs, and Kirk Cousins is not one of those players.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you're in the playoffs, you're not scared. You're scared of Justin Jefferson. You're scared of Adam Thielen and the receivers. You're not scared of Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins has proved he can't win prime time.
Mhm.
Just don't give him a 1 o'clock kickoff.
It's interesting, and then Lions Bears scrappy. Like those are
I
the
expected more from the Lions, though. I did. I expected more from the Lions this year.
well, got 2-6 instead. This is legitimately a bad season of football. Like there's a lot of horrendous teams in the NFL this season, and only a handful of really good teams.
Well, I like that. You know why, Shane? Because come playoff time, the number one seeds could lose.
It's gonna
It's
be
anyone's.
a bloodbath.
it is going to be a bloodbath. The playoffs are going to be a lot of fun this year. I can't wait because we're going to get matchups like a Niners versus Vikings probably wild card
It's
round. That's
and they
exciting.
have some big shoes to fill because those playoffs last year, amazing,
So good.
so good. That oh, it's the kind of thing where I wish the Bills and the Chiefs could actually play in the Super Bowl against each other.
For real. I mean, well, if you think about it, that probably really was. I mean, the Super Bowl this year was not bad, right? But coming off that legendary game of Chiefs Bills, that felt more like a Super Bowl than the Rams Bengals. And plus, no one really wanted to see the Bengals in the playoffs anyway. We were all really hoping for a Stafford versus Mahomes play Super Bowl, and second half the Chiefs just crapped the bed and like, yeah, we don't really want to go out to LA and for the Super Bowl. So,
There you go. Well, now the NFC South. Huh. Tom Brady. Why don't you just stay retired? Maybe you'd still have a wife, and you would be 4-5 right now.
I have so many thoughts about this division. Um, I was wrong about Baker Mayfield. I thought, maybe him going to a new place, new home would be a good, change of scenery would be good for him, and it wasn't. He has proven to be trash,
Yep.
and he's just basically stealing money. I think he's getting paid $19 million just to sit on the bench. So he's just stealing money. The Falcons are better than what I thought they were going to be this year. I will give them that. They lost to Panthers the other night. They are still better than what that they are. They still need a quarterback though. And the Saints are probably my second or third biggest disappointment this year. My God, what a mess that is, Shane. I am disappointed in those
Well,
Saints.
they've been without who was supposed to be.
Winston,
Yeah.
mhm, and Michael Thomas just needs to go out and retire. I mean, I can't remember the last time he played a full NFL season. I think it was like 3 years ago. So
See,
it's the Bucks to lose.
another example. Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback, retires. What do you do afterwards? Saints still figuring that out.
Well, and now they lost their coach because Sean Payton's retired now too. So I mean, if Sean Payton were still there, you would still have some hope because he's a great. I mean, it's Sean Payton, he's a legend,
Yeah.
but he's
Well,
not there
that's true
anymore either.
too, because at least Pittsburgh and New England
They
have
still have
their
their
coaches
coaches.
still.
Yep.
Can say the same for Colts, and I don't even know who the Broncos coach was when Peyton Manning played for them. Um,
It was John Fox and then Gary Kubiak. Yeah.
to be fair, Peyton Manning didn't even win them that Super Bowl. That
No, and
second
he
one.
knows it. He admitted it on the ESPYs. He was like, "Yeah, my defense carried my ass to the Super Bowl that year." So we all knew it. We all knew
Yeah.
it. We all know how they won that Super Bowl. But you know what? That Super Bowl, he did exactly what he needed to do. Just
Yep.
don't turn it over. Get us down. If we have to kick field goals, that's fine. But he did exactly what he needed to do to make sure they won the Super Bowl. And so I'm happy he
That's
went out.
because he's the GOAT.
Now, see, Tom Brady should have done what Peyton did. After he won that ring, Tom Brady won that ring in Tampa Bay. You should have called. You should have just called it.
Yep.
I mean, he won without Belichick, proving it was more about Brady than Belichick. He got the best of Belichick, and he didn't even have to play him. But I think what happened was he realized the following year he was going to go back up to New England and play them, and he probably wanted to go send a message to Bill like, yeah,
Well, and he
I'm
was
the
probably
reason we're
riding on
ready.
high that they had so much talent on that Buccaneers team that they were going to win it again.
I mean, look, a lot of us thought they were going to run it back, um, and they lost the Rams. So
Well, at this rate, this conference is so weak. One, if he makes the playoffs,
he will.
that's dangerous still.
Well,
And
at that point, it comes down to matchups, right? Who are you playing wild card around? Who are you playing? Like if you're from the Giants, they got a defense and they can run the ball with Saquon, and just keep the ball away from Brady, right?
mhm.
But what that is, you still got Daniel Jones at quarterback, right? So there's that. Tom Brady just owns the Cowboys. So if they were to play a game against the Cowboys, it's like, Jesus. Um,
my
then
my
there's
I legitimately think the bottom end of the NFC playoffs, it's going to be scary. And the top team should be worried.
I think of all division leaders right now, Eagles, Bucks, Vikings, and the Seahawks. Believe it or not, Shane, I think the Vikings should be the most worried. Just because of maybe it's a lack of experience, but
Track
with the
record.
Seahawks, you still have Pete Carroll. So
Yep.
he'll get your team mentally ready. With the Bucks, you have Brady.
Hey,
With the Eagles, you have an MVP candidate and Jalen Hurts, and he was just there last year, so he's learned from last year. And now you have AJ Brown, who's been there before.
mm-hmm.
So that's just going to come down to Nick Sirianni not screwing it up.
Well, and this is a nice segue because look at the NFC West. Seahawks put up a big win against the Giants. The Giants were poised to do what they've been doing the whole season. They turned that ball over, put them away two scores down, and then the Giants couldn't do anything with it.
Right.
So, like, they're a tough team. Who's the quarterback? Geno Smith.
Man, it just hurts. I just want to hurl every time I have to think about it. But there's a big game in Munich tomorrow, Shane, between the Bucks and the Seahawks. I can't wait to watch every snap of that game. That's going to be a great game.
When does that game start?
9:30 a.m. on NFL Network.
So
I'll be up. My plan is to watch Amsterdam. I can finally watch Amsterdam here at the house because it's on digital, and then just watch that game afterwards. So, and then I got to go pick up my grandpa to watch all the afternoon games. Like we're gonna watch the Cowboys game together because it's a 4:00 game, Shane. And I'm not mentally ready for that. I can't wait to get a good night's sleep tonight because tomorrow's just gonna be a nightmare.
A long day.
Yeah, so I hope my Dolphins win so I can at least just be happy by the time the Cowboys Packers game comes up.
Yeah. But yeah, Seahawks looking good.
I'm impressed.
Good. 49ers hanging in there, 4-4. Which being 500 saying a lot in the NFC right now. So, and then the Rams.
Too Cooper Cup centric. That's what it comes down to, Shane.
Well, and it looks like Stafford might be out.
Concussion, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just not. This is the perfect example, kids, of a Super Bowl hangover. This is exactly what we mean. When people say Super Bowl hangover, look at the 2022 Los Angeles Rams.
Not looking so hot.
Nope. This offense is just too centered around Cooper Cup, but it kind of has to when the rest of your receivers are dropping passes. Everyone else is unreliable.
Though I saw some interesting stats earlier this week. You know what team in the NFL leads the league in drop passes?
Is it the Bucks?
Buccaneers.
Yeah, I thought so.
If I was Tom Brady, I'd be pissed off too.
So Shane, I'll let you run on. I wanted to ask you a question, but go ahead and continue then I'll ask it afterwards.
Well, we got through all the divisions. So basically the only other thing I really wanted to talk about was some of the standout players this season and some of those that are just not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
So, okay. So before we get to that, I did want to ask you this, right? So I'm looking because the Niners actually still have a puncher's chance of winning this division because they are 4-4. But their schedule, it gets tough. Kinda. Chargers, Arizona, New Orleans, Miami, Tampa, at Seattle, Washington, at Las Vegas, and Arizona again.
I think at least half of those games they should easily win. I'd be where at this point, it's still Tom Brady. I wouldn't say anybody can easily beat the Buccaneers.
But here's the Seahawks remaining schedule. After this week's game, they got a bye. Las Vegas, at LA to play the Rams, Carolina, San Francisco, at Kansas City, Jets, Rams. That is your stretch right there of San Francisco, Kansas City, Jets, Rams. That's going to define their season. and whether San Francisco or Seattle
Because
wins
the
it.
thing is, if the Rams can figure something out, and here's the thing, Rams are only a game behind the 49ers.
I just think I just don't have faith the Rams can pull this off, Shane. I really don't. I just think they're too beat up, um, and they're too inconsistent for me. They're just the offense is just not clicking this year, Shane.
I just, I really think that that seven spot is the 49ers to lose. And if they could do what they need to do, it's going to be theirs.
Well, it's either going to the Niners or it's going to the Seahawks. Because if the Seahawks end up losing the division somehow, it'll be because San Francisco caught them,
Yep.
and that'll be that. But
Because I have
I'm
no faith in the Falcons or the Commanders to actually pull that out.
I actually, while you start talking about most disappointing team, I want to see the Commanders' rest of their schedule and see if they actually have a puncher's chance.
Well,
Um,
I think it's going to matter how many games they have to play against their own division the rest of the season. Because
well, I have it here. Okay, you know what, Shane? This is actually a very favorable schedule. At Philly, at Houston, Atlanta, at New York, bye week, New York again at home, at San Francisco, Cleveland, Dallas. Because you think about that Dallas game, Shane, Dallas could be playing for nothing at that point. They could be walking to a wild card spot.
outside of the
Cleveland,
two against the Giants and then the Eagles,
right? This is their last game against the Eagles. Houston, they should beat Houston. I mean, this is going to come down to the wire. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
it's going to be interesting. And you know the Giants and the Cowboys want to jockey for that position because it's going to wind up being, are you facing Tom Brady in the first round of the
Yep.
playoffs? Or are you facing either the 49ers or the Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs?
So yeah, so the one seed we're all assuming is probably going to be Philly. The two seed will be Minnesota if all things stand pat, right?
Probably.
And so the seven seed will probably be, like we said, San Francisco, Seattle, or Washington. One of
Mhm.
those three teams. If it's Seattle and Minnesota, I trust Minnesota. If it's San Francisco or Washington against Minnesota, no, not Washington, but San Francisco against Minnesota, yeah, I would say San Francisco would beat them. Now the 3-6 becomes interesting because right, you're right that the four seed's probably going to be Tampa Bay. They're going to be the four
Yes.
seed.
Uh-huh.
I, if I were Tampa, I would rather want to see the Giants and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady, I will say this, Tom Brady it just has that psychological edge against the Cowboys. I don't think he's ever lost to the Cowboys in his career.
I'm going to quote one of the best creations in the history of the NFL, which is the Manning brothers announcing Monday Night Football games. When they had Tom Brady on, and Tom Brady's just like, "Hey Peyton, I always enjoyed us playing against each other," and Eli cuts it. He's just like, "Hey Tom, didn't you enjoy our games against each other?" So
I love their simulcast together. They are so good.
here's the thing. I don't think Tom Brady wants to face the Giants.
No,
Just from like a psychological standpoint.
no, but I don't think he wants to mess with that Dallas defense either.
There.
I mean it's tough. It's pick your poison because like you
Giants
said that
still should have beat the Buccaneers last year. I stayed up until like almost midnight watching that game on a Thursday night. Ugh, so close.
when you need him the most, Daniel Jones will mess it up for you.
Gonna fall flat on his face running for a touchdown. He's never gonna live that down.
No, he's never gonna live that. Actually, it just happened again recently. We went for a long run and he fell down. I think wasn't it against the Jags that happened?
Terrible. But thinking about some of the like the players, um, Tom Brady and Rodgers, what the hell are you doing?
So I'm gonna give both of them a bit of a pass here. for two different reasons. The easier one to talk about is Tom Brady because he has a lot of outside stuff he's dealing with right now. I think that's
Mm,
definitely playing a part into his poor play. But
100%.
also his receivers aren't helping him catching any passes either. I mean,
Correct.
Mike Evans is a dropping machine this year. I don't know what happened to Mike Evans, but he's just dropping everything. I remember that game against the Panthers. Um, that deep bomb Tom Brady threw to Evans for a touchdown, and Evans just flat out drops it. So that's that for me. Now Tom Brady's still playing poorly, yes, but it's not all on him.
Well, and his split right now, he has 10 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Exactly.
So,
So,
like, he's just not racking up a ton of big numbers. He's still playing efficiently. It's just, you know, when you, like you said, when you lead the league and drop passes, that's not doing your quarterback any good.
and Leonard Fournette too has just disappeared from the face of the earth. I mean, they cannot run the ball.
All three of them are on my fantasy team. And somehow I'm still 8-1.
I hate you. I really hate you. I talk about him.
This is the best I've ever played legitimately in a fantasy league ever. And I don't know how that's happening this season, to be perfectly frank.
I made a mistake in inviting you to the league this year. This won't happen again. Just next year, you might go undefeated.
This will never happen again. You'll never see the light of our league again. It's just obvious they have a lot of stuff going on, lack of support, lack of it just you can't help but think that they're two of the most underperforming players in the NFL because these are two Hall of Fame quarterbacks and they're just not winning and they're not putting up the numbers that you expect out of them. This season is just not going in their favor.
Well, we all can agree the Packers are not winning, going to the playoffs this year. Definitely winning the division. Um, it's going to be a very interesting offseason yet again in Packerland because Aaron Rodgers got his money, but are they finally going to give him some help? And the answer is
I
no.
know.
So I
Not gonna
I
do
can already
it.
tell you that answer. I can already tell you the answer to that one. So yeah,
Uh,
the Aaron Rodgers thing is more front office that him not getting any help and basically to stop the Packers. Now you got to do is stop the run game. And the defense has been very disappointing this year too. That was supposed to be a strength, and it's been a weakness.
yeah, and then you have a couple other like Stafford, like what's going on there?
So maybe the injury report was right that he was hurt coming into the season. He's been playing like he's been hurt all year. Like
Mm-hmm.
something that doesn't look right with Stafford right now. And I think it's a mix of him winning the Super Bowl. I think there's a bit of hangover and him just probably playing hurt all year. So, if they keep on losing, they're probably going to, shut them down probably post Thanksgiving. And if they feel like they're out of the race, get them ready to go for next season. So,
Yeah, they're just those were a couple quarterbacks that just are not
I mean, you
they
can add
need to
Matt
be.
Ryan to the list too. He got benched for a rookie. And I don't think Matt Ryan should have been benched. He wasn't playing well, yes, but that team is just a dysfunctional mess. They
Yep.
can't protect. Jonathan Taylor has been a major disappointment. They can't run the football, partly because they have no offensive line. They consistently turn the ball over no matter who's at quarterback now. So
Well,
yeah,
at
I
least
don't
at
know.
least the Colts have some and O line on the bench coaching.
Next, sweet Jesus.
I was on a side note. I didn't expect the amount of controversy with hiring Jeff Saturday as their head coach.
He has no experience coaching in the league. What's he doing? I
They're just like, we need a body for the rest of the season. Might as well put a future Hall of Famer, or is he a Hall of Famer?
Jeff Saturday, I think he is, yes. If
So
not, he
like
will be.
I so here's the real question. Would Peyton do it?
No.
He has too good of a deal.
Yeah. He wouldn't do it.
If I were to have it, if I was getting paid a bunch of money to sit every Monday night calling Monday Night Football with my brother,
Exactly.
why say no to that?
Exactly. Or do with the pressures of being a coach for a franchise you brought to the promised land. And yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. So, but who are some of the players that you think are really underachieving this season so far?
Well, I already mentioned, Matt Ryan. You mentioned Matthew Stafford. I put Derek Carr in that conversation too.
Yeah.
He's been kind of been playing poorly this season. Um, Early on, I would say Kyler Murray, but I'm going to give Kyler Murray a pass because he was missing DeAndre Hopkins for half the season. Now he's finally back and they're playing. That's more of a Cliff Kingsbury thing, and they need to fire him more than I was about to say DeAndre Murray, than a Kyler Murray situation. So, um, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, what happened to him? He was supposed to be the best back in football this year, and he's on a fantasy team as well, and he's done nothing for me.
Mhm.
And to a degree, Justin Herbert, to a degree, but I mean, I've never been high on Justin Herbert. I thought he was gonna have a breakout year this year, but
There's just a lot of underachieving quarterbacks.
Mac Jones has regressed big time too this year. Big time.
Who are those players that are really shining this season?
Well, I mean, you go down to South Beach and look at Miami Dolphins. Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. Big
I'm gonna
three.
say Jalen Hurts.
Look at that. Two Bama kids. Two Bama kids.
He's doing what he needs to be doing.
Um, yes, I would say definitely those four. Mahomes is just stupid good. It's unfair at this point. I will. You know what though? So, what's the kid's name? Um, man, I'm drawing a blank on it. I'm actually, I'm actually, I'm encouraged by the progress of Trevor Lawrence. I just need him to stop turning the ball over, but I'm encouraged with what I've seen. But his running back, Travis Etienne, has been balling this year for the Jaguars. He's been playing really well. I'm trying to go division by division, Shane. Daniel Jones has not turned the ball over and cost the team games, so I'm impressed by that.
Actually, you know what? I want to look up Daniel Jones's stats right now because, like, not terrible.
No, I am.
Because I
Oh,
was
we need
very
to talk about the elephant in the room, Shane. Talking about the NFC West. We need to talk about how great Geno Smith is playing right now. He is He's a dark horse MVP candidate. He's definitely going to win comeback player of the year, or yeah, probably comeback player of the year. I have been, I thought this was going to be one of the five worst teams in football this year, and they're making a case for making a. I don't know if they're Super Bowl bound, Shane, but I can see them come championship Sunday
Mhm.
being in an NFC championship game against the Niners or the Eagles or something like that. I definitely see it. They have that time. They have that kind of team. So yeah, those will probably be my most impressive players. I would definitely say Tua and Jalen are probably at the top, and Geno probably the two most impressive players in football this year.
I'm looking right now. Barkley, 8 games, 779 yards, 5 touchdowns, has almost 200 receiving yards as well. And then let's see, Mr. Jones, 8 games, 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
See, he's not winning games for you, and he's not losing games for you. So Look, we all know
He
he's
ha-
not the answer.
and he has run for 3 touchdowns. He has 3 rushing touchdowns and 6 passing touchdowns this season.
Good Lord. God help us all. Look, he is not. He is.
He's also fumbled the ball 3 times.
Then there's a Daniel Jones I know. But he is. Brian Dable has been able to get the most out of Daniel Jones, which is impressive. But we all know Daniel Jones is not going to be the guy for them moving forward.
No, this I was very, 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 very vocal that this was last chance. Like
He's
if
going to
he,
be a quality backup somewhere. And maybe he will have a season where he has a Geno Smith type season and he just takes his team. He's the reason why they're making the playoffs. But you look at the Giants and you're like, I'm not really scared of this team. So
it's a the Giants are winning situationally. They're winning by 1 score in the fourth quarter. They're turning it on when they need to. But yeah, they're not a kind of team that I think teams are going to go in and be afraid to play. But they might surprise you. They'll shock you. Done that multiple times this season.
well, they're going to win 11 or 12 games this year just based off their schedule and what they have left and kind of where they are right now. But our real evaluation test will come playoff time and see what they can do. So I maybe Daniel Jones will have a Flacco type run and he'll just go to the Super Bowl and surprise us all.
We'll have to see. It's going to be an interesting year. And it'll be an interesting conversation when we come back at the end of it to be like, so this is what happened.
I'll be in Miami celebrating the Dolphins Super Bowl win. So I'll do it live. We'll do a live stream live from the Dolphins parade.
I have to say, because I did shows all throughout the baseball season with my brother and my friend Dave, they were almost right. The two of them predicted Phillies World Series winners at the beginning of the season. Shockingly, we were close. I did not have faith. I was still predicting Astros Dodgers in the World Series. And hey, look, who was right? I'm pissed off, but I was right.
I'm just upset because one, the Phillies knocked us out the playoffs. And then our good buddy Shane here was like, it was still a good season, Ron. And I was like, no, we lost to the Phillies in the divisional round. This hurts. And we're probably going to lose Dansby Swanson this offseason, too. But hey,
Well,
the ground might come back or come to Atlanta this year. So we'll see.
well, Rod, as a Diamondbacks fan,
Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
you should enjoy your division win and make it to the division round.
We're still the champs. We're still the champs, right? Yes? No? Is that over now? Okay.
Diamondbacks have a lot of good young talent on that team. They're actually going to. I think they could be the Orioles of next season.
No.
Be
But
interesting.
anyway, we all know what's going to happen next year, Shane. Everyone's going to hype up the Yankees, assuming Judge comes back, and the Dodgers.
No, did you see the Yankees had like 10 players opt out in free agency on them
Oh, my.
on like the same day?
That wasn't planned.
They're like, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Well, I don't think Judge is going back. I think he's going elsewhere.
Oh, Judge definitely is not coming back. Rizzo wants out too.
Hmm. He's first base, right? He's a first baseman.
Yep.
Crap, we already have a first baseman. Never mind.
Yeah, you got Matt Olson.
Yeah.
So, hey, Dimebacks have Gold Glove winning Christian Walker, who somehow won that over Paul Goldschmidt.
Wait, what? No, that's official. He won that over Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, but Goldschmidt just won the Hank Aaron Award, so and then he's probably going to win the MVP. So,
Yeah, he will. He'll win the MVP.
he did as a Cardinal.
I'm pretty sure the Mets manager is going to win manager of the year, and he shouldn't.
No, Rob Thompson should have. How do you not give him that award?
Because I mean, look, the NL is basically, Dodgers, Braves, Mets now, until further notice. So we're probably just gonna see those three
He took a
managers.
losing team and actually got them to the World Series somehow
Sweet Jesus.
out of nowhere. But
I know
anyway,
we're talking about football, but I just want to say congrats to Dusty Baker for finally getting it, man. He well earned.
he
I'm happy
was
for him.
so happy.
I'm happy for him.
I did one meme that spoke to me was the only two reasons to be happy Houston won, and it was Dusty Baker and Trey Mancini.
Yeah,
Dude overcame cancer and then almost single-handedly won that World Series for them when he made that play on Schwarber at first base when he came in. If he didn't catch that, whole different series. But it's how the cookie crumbles.
Braves are still the champs. Braves are
And
still the champs.
how's the cookie going to crumble on the NFL season? And maybe Rod and I will come back and do a playoff prediction video if Rod's open to it, but we could talk about that later. But otherwise, this is where we're at right now. A lot of shocking things happening in the NFL and a lot of trash. So, but
A lot
Rod,
of trash.
thank you so much for coming on as always.
I appreciate you always having me on, Shane, and I can't wait to talk about the post with you in a couple of weeks. That should be a lot of fun. So I'm
Yes,
looking forward to that.
I just watched Lincoln this morning, prepping for my episode next week. Spielberg's going to be coming to an end, and then it's Carpenter time.
I still can't believe Carpenter won. I really want to talk to this voting committee. I need to speak to the people who voted.
Um, a big thanks to my brother who campaigned all of his friends to go vote for John Carpenter during this whole entire tournament, and John Carpenter won.
I need to
So,
speak with your brother.
so that is indeed how John Carpenter won. So
Mm-mm-mm.
John Carpenter was the Phillies, came out of nowhere.
I was really hoping it was going to be Fincher. We were so close because I want to talk about Gone Girl. I
Oh,
was like,
that
oh my
you know
God,
what? That
no.
was an it. Like Fincher came out of nowhere. Like that's the thing. Fincher and PTA don't get enough credit in these tournaments that I've been doing, but like they're because like the attention gets to Tarantino and Nolan and Hitchcock and just like Fincher and PTA are some of the most impressive directors out there right now. So we'll see. I'm sure Fincher will get there at some point. But that's a wrap on Wasteland Talks this week as we talked about our mid-season check-in about football. Thank all of you for always tuning in and always supporting your Wasteland reviewer.